Welcome back to another great episode of Kyndra's Corner. Yes, man, I got a great, phenomenal cast. Some of these people have not been here in so long. And yes, my hair grew, Yeah, the secret is put fresh sperm on it. It works. I promise you it works, man. Listen, I can't be me without me. I'm telling you all some little shout outs before I bring my cast on. First off, please be careful on who you have sex with because these kids did not ask to be ugly. That's the first thing. And secondly, speaking of ugly, do you know how ugly you have to be as a man for her to lie about the fact that she has a boyfriend? Like I've never done that. I just tell a guy straight up, I'm not interested. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring the first brother to the stage. He doesn't want his face to be shown. I guess he's on the run from the secret society mob and all those other people. Piña. That's how you say that in Espanol. Piña. Bienvenido.
God. Wow. What an introduction. Pina, pina, pina. What's going on, world? How you doing, Kyndra?
Hey, I kept my legs closed today. Only time I opened it was when I went to the shower and used the restroom.
Okay, right on.
How are you?
Fine till you said that shit, but I'm okay.
Great. Okay, let me bring the next person to the stage, man. One of my best friends. He ain't been on in so long because he's been on the run too. Kivity, Lance,
How you feeling?
Fabio, and the dogs. The dogs are still
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah, this is one of them. Just one of them.
How you doing today, brother?
I know everything is well. Just look at that beautiful cloud in back of me. That thing is forming. You can't probably see it, but if you was in person, that thing is huge. That thing is
No,
about 11 miles tall. But that's off topic. But Jess, how y'all doing today?
We
we're good.
good. We
We're good.
good.
You went.
Pina, is that your wait? Pina, is that your name? Let's say,
No,
oh,
it's
pineapple. It's
pineapple.
Spanish.
That's how you say pineapple in Spanish. Piña, piña.
Oh, okay. You see, the phone is very far from me, and I can't really see the tiny words. How you doing, pineapple?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Where you located?
Out here in South Carolina.
Oh wow, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, nice to meet you. I'm Lance, Kivity, Papillon. Well, that's my last name. It's French for butterfly. You can call me either name, it really doesn't matter. I met Kyndra here in Georgia, so that's why I am Atlanta.
Oh, right on.
Well, you guys are from the same state, so that's
Oh, yeah,
beautiful.
wait a minute, you from Louisiana?
Born and raised New Orleans, West Bank.
Okay, I'm from Lafayette. Okay.
All right, right on. I
Okay.
kind of figured with that name Papillon, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's some Appaloosas people, Cameron Crow, Alexandria area,
Papillon.
Papillon, the Creole.
Well, without further ado, I got to go ahead and get into our first interesting news of the week. And this is a true story. So, in a Ohio lawmakers, this is true because they started this year. Oh shoot! He came out with the white beater. He had to get dressed
Come
real
on
fast, y'all.
now.
He was naked. Hey,
I,
Ohio lawmakers propose a new law that bans men from ejaculating without intent of conception. Straight men face maximum sentence of $10,000 per busted nut. I will read that to y'all again. Ohio lawmakers propose a new law that bans men from ejaculating without intent of conception. Straight men face maximum sentence of $10,000 per busted nut. Pineapple, go ahead and talk to us, brother. What do you think about that?
first of all, how do you enforce that shit? Second of all, you can't catch somebody without breaking the law yourself. Because if you watching them do this, then you're probably committing voyeurism. And do you want to collect the evidence? so, so let that man bust his nut in peace. So that's a frivolous law. You got to be a real dumbass to get caught and actually prosecuted for that one.
It's questions.
That yeah, that
Lance,
makes
what are
sense.
your thoughts? What are your
That
thoughts,
makes
brother?
sense. That makes perfect sense, pineapple. Perfect sense. Yeah, I have a good bit to say, but I'm not trying to make this video too long. I got two things to like that just doesn't add up in reality. One, how are they supposed to track these people down? Like how would you get caught busting a nut if you're behind closed doors? That's the
Facts.
first thing. Second of all, okay, second of all, well, actually I have three things to say. Second of all, does busting a nut while you're sleeping, does that count? Does that count as a wet dream? Like it's like, does that count? I mean,
Hello, that's what y'all men do.
come on, Kyndra, come on. You know everything about this topic except for that. Are you
I don't
serious?
know that. I'm not a man. I don't know. I don't know
Out of
anything about
all of
that.
the voice recordings I be screaming at you through Facebook Messenger, as much as I mentioned that, okay. But in other words, I can leave that for another time. But the thing is, and by the way, I don't speak sexual to Kyndra for all of y'all who thinking I am. No, I'm talking. I tell Kyndra how men think on social media to help her understand some men that be getting to her DM. So I don't talk sexual with Kyndra just in case your audience think I am. No, it's not. But what I'm trying to say is that um yeah, that's what I'm talking about because I study dopamine detoxing, and if y'all never heard of the no fat movement, that means men go like about 6 months without ejaculating, and he builds so much strength up. But that's like I said, that's for another topic. I don't want to talk too much in this podcast, but in other words, what I'm trying to say is, when men don't have sex for a long time, the sperm naturally gets cleaned out through his sleep. So that's for all y'all women who don't know what a wet dream is. That would happen, and you don't need to be thinking about sex too for that to happen. It just comes out if a lot of sperm gets built up in your testicles. But however, I went completely off topic. I do have one last thing to say, but I totally forgot what it was. I honestly forgot what it was. Oh yeah. Last thing I want to say. Does that mean us men should also have a right to have a my body, my choice movement as well?
Mm. Hey, you giggling? He ain't too damn far off the mark here.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Because if you
You
can pull
know,
out that little rose and go to town, we should be able
yeah,
to mess with them five chicks on Palm Street and do the same damn thing.
yeah, exactly. So that is the other thing that I wanted to ask. But in other words, I am talking awfully too much. I'll give the mic back to you, Kendra.
That's funny.
No, I got a caveat on that. Okay,
Okay.
if he's not ejaculating for conception, what about all the people that's fixed?
Mmm.
Aha! So they just walk around with dry nuts the rest of the goddamn like you can't do it because ain't no more
That's
kids coming up out of here.
you guys are that's some really good points. I didn't think about that when Lance you were saying that he'll come in his yeah okay makes sense a wet dream. Now I'm piecing it all together. Well, let me say first off, people don't have whoever created these lawmakers, they ain't got nothing better else to do with the rest of their time, man. Like,
Throw that shit in the long grass.
because I'm sitting here thinking like, bro, who freaking cares? Now I will say, there was a I don't know, maybe they probably because there's a verse in the Bible's Old Testament where God actually killed this man for pulling out he spilled his seed on the ground. He actually got killed, and everything else like that. So I don't know, maybe they're
According to the Bible, it's a sin to spill
yeah.
the seed without first. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
sin.
pulling out is a sin. So maybe they're like, listen, you guys gonna have to like do this. I honestly, it's dumb. Who came up with this? Who actually is in prison for this? All of that type of stuff.
And the
I don't
crazy
know.
thing is, and I'll kind of understand if you pass a law that states, okay, do not have sex before marriage. That makes more sense for me. I don't know because in many countries, technically, you know, sexual activity with ejaculation that's really in nature only designed for reproduction. So I can see that, but at least make a law where you can't have sex before marriage, or like at least don't have a nightlife. Like in Iran, a nightlife is completely criminalized. They have not
Wait,
one club in Iran.
in other countries they have that type of stuff?
Say it again.
I didn't know that in Iran that's what they had.
In Iran, they strictly don't want a nightlife. No clubs, no alcohol is all banned.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah. And in Indonesia, before y'all visit Bali, because I know that's a popular destination that a lot of America go to, in certain parts of Indonesia, they would arrest you if you book a hotel room with the opposite sex that you are not related to. Mm-hmm. If you're not married.
You know what? They need to bring that to America. Hold on. So Louisiana's in the house. We got Wings on the Plane from NOLA as well, because Pineapple and Wings on the Plane both from the same city.
We all from Louisiana. Man, you got a whole Louisiana army up in here.
I do.
What's down, baby? What's down? Yeah.
How y'all feeling?
What's good, man?
Cool.
I'm Peabody, by the way. I'm from Lafayette.
I'm from NOLA, baby. I'm New Orleans.
Okay. Okay.
You close
Kendra,
enough.
You set this podcast up really good tonight.
She went out there and found us. That's what she did.
That's what she did. I'm a scouter. Wings on the Plane. So we are in we're about to move the question to the second interesting news of the week, but I want to get your thoughts on the first one. So basically, Ohio lawmakers proposed a new law that bans, this is a true story, that bans men from ejaculating without intent of conception, and straight men face maximum sentence of $10,000 per bust night. Hold up. It says straight men. What about the homosexual men?
I saw that when you sent it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I would go to jail because I masturbate a lot. I be jacking off like a motherfucker. So if I go to jail for masturbating, I would go to jail and be locked up. But who's watching you? Who's catching you?
That part. That's what we all said.
That's what
we all said. Who the fuck watching you?
That's what we all said.
Yeah, but like, who watching you and reporting he's masturbating right now? He needs to go to jail. Like, who the fuck is the police for masturbation? You feel me?
That is right.
I'm just asking for a friend.
I ain't doing that shit. If they come and tell us, hey, we got to enforce it, but I'm like, bitch, kiss my ass with your mouth open. I ain't enforcing shit. I ain't enforcing the motherfucking thing.
All right. Well, let's go to question 2. I'm going to go take it to Lance, or interesting news of the week, number 2. So, Lance, a woman in China sent 1,000 pounds of onions to her ex-boyfriend's house so he could cry like she did.
Well, he will only cry if he opens the onions.
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta cut them open.
Yeah, I mean, your onions don't just make you cry, just because if that's the case, everybody in Walmart would be crying. Like, it's not really like he has to open each one. So it's like, I don't understand. Like, would it all open? And by the time they get to his house, if they are open, them things would be dried out and like it loses all of its scent. So I mean, the hell? Okay, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
What kind of silly motherfucker gonna send onions to a person's house in the first place? If you hate him that much, send a hitman.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or a bomb or something.
Damn.
send a fucking hitman. Yeah,
you went all the way off the rail with that. What niggas is
hey, bro, if you gonna go hard, go fucking hard. Go all the way. Go hard to go home, man.
Shit, you trying to kill a motherfucker. I just wanted to cry.
What if she can't afford that, right?
Like, she need to sit her pet ass down somewhere.
You know what?
That was need to do.
You know what? I remember one time.
Hey, I might be from Jefferson Parish, but we still go hard like a motherfucker over here, dog. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, what's
we go hard like a motherfucker in Jefferson Parish, boy.
At Paris, yeah.
Yeah, I spend enough time uptown. We know better.
Guys, we have another special guest, man. Like I was just couldn't. I got so excited, I couldn't wait for her arrival. She was taking her beauty rest, right? And then somebody was fanning her and say, "Wait, you got to get on Kyndra's corner." We got Queen Kyndra. Queen Kyndra, who's that fanning you? Who's that fanning you and feeding you grapes?
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, hey Queen.
Of course.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How you feeling, Quizla?
I'm good. For the most part, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Well, listen, Queen Kier, we got all of Louisiana in the house except you, right?
I see.
So yeah.
I know. I visited that. I mean, that was
hold
count,
it down, baby.
Well, every
we
state
got.
that's in here has an Anna in it. So every state, well, except for Georgia. But I'm from Louisiana. But everybody from a state with an Anna in it. So you're from Indiana, ain't you?
Indiana. Yep.
Yep.
Anna, yeah, I like that bit, dog. Yeah, we got the Annas in this bitch.
Yeah, we got the Annas up here.
Well, let me get, before we go to move to the next person, let me get Queen Kiera real quick. I'm going to start off with number one, and then we're going to go to the second one. So this is a true story. I looked this up just to make sure it was real, but I basically said Ohio lawmakers propose a new law that bans men from ejaculating without intent of conception, and the straight men face maximum sentence of $10,000 per busted nut. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, what? Where is this?
It's in Ohio, next door.
Right next to your state, right next to you.
Ohio be on that weird. They a little strange. So I'm not shocked. That's a all right. That's interesting.
Well, that's all you
So
gotta
what is your
say.
take on it?
That's it. What's guys? She's a woman.
That's it. That's just.
She's a woman.
It's not like she governed under the damn law.
That's true. That's true.
True. I mean.
Well, the next one. Let me. I can come back to you again, Queen Kiera. So the next one is a woman in China sent 1,000 pounds of onions to her ex-boyfriend's house so he could cry like she did.
Kyndra was reading that book again.
No.
She'll read that motherfucking book again that we were talking about.
She petty. That's petty. Petty.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I don't. I mean, I think I would go to lengths that might put me in prison. So I don't know. That's what I was
talking about.
Man, what you gonna go to jail for? Why would you go to prison? What would you go to prison for?
She can't incriminate herself. Don't answer, man. Don't answer. Just plead the fifth.
My revenge.
I ain't black. I'm black.
Right. It could be a bit.
I'm just saying, man. Look here, real hitters don't get caught.
Hey, that what they be saying.
That part.
Yeah.
Shout out to my nigga Derrick Grove. They still ain't catch that boy.
They still ain't catch that boy, yo. That thing go like a motherfucker.
Shout out to my nigga DG. You hear me? You right?
That boy go like a motherfucker, yo.
But that's how you're supposed to do it, though. Like, once you escape, don't come back. Have an alias. You're supposed to change your identity. Why? Like, I'm like the other people. One of them was on Facebook Live. I'm like, why do you want to get caught? Why?
Be quiet. Tonight is the night that we ride.
That's so stupid.
Dirty camouflage. I'm gonna niggas inside. Doing surgery on bodies like they doctors. Oh shit, yo.
What song is that?
Oh,
you understand?
Don't do that, Kyndra.
You understand?
Is that mystical?
Oh shit!
Man,
oh hell no!
Done. You done. Throw it in the long grass.
Yeah, I need some help. Who is that?
That Juvie, man.
Juvie.
I don't care about him. He was very rude to me. I don't care. So, all right. So let's go to the random polls of the night.
Holding the grudge.
Before
when that song come on, though, I bet you back that ass up for the 99 and the 2000.
I'm gonna go sit down. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, before we get to the polling questions, I just also kind of want to ask y'all something. Well, just say something before we continue about the first question. So you said straight men is gonna get that fine, right?
That's right.
So why don't, when we get caught, we just say that we're gay? Can that work? I mean, very clear. Like,
I mean, the key from going to jail, I'll turn into Mr. Tootsie Pop like a motherfucker real fast.
It's only
that's saying.
I can't take people nobody.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do now. You gotta do what you gotta do. So let me go to question one. Wings on the plane. Let me come to you first, brother. So let's switch gears and talk about homeschooling. What do you believe are the pros and cons of homeschooling kids?
I'm not a fan of homeschooling kids. I have a friend that does that. What happens is I work in pediatrics and dentistry. So what happens is when you homeschool your children, they're only being taught by you. Meaning if you weren't taught correctly, you're teaching your children incorrectly. The second thing I have with homeschooling your children is it builds a social awkwardness. They're not going to be able to interact with other children when they go out to spaces with kids their age because they've only been around you and in their comfortability. So I don't condone homeschooling your children because it's going to take away from them the experience of being a human amongst people in the world.
No
like
diversity.
Going to school, you might not learn your lessons, but you learn how to motherfucking not touch other stuff. You learn how to get along with other people. You learn how to interact with other people your age. That's what school teaches us. When you deprive a child of that and just keep them at home all day, that's not a good thing. And, you know, to most people that do it, more power to you, but you're going to have some fucked up churn. Them be the school shooters. The ones that be homeschooled and shit, they be shooting up the schools and going to work and killing their employees and co-workers because they got mad, because they don't know how to control their emotions because they weren't properly taught. You feel me?
Let me ask you this question before I move to, I'm going to go to Pineapple, then Queen Kyndra. So let me ask you this question. Give me a pro of homeschooling a child. What you, because you gave me a lot of cons. What would you give? What's one?
I would say a pro is you can be closer to your children. You're more intimate and you're more closer to what you install in your children. It's just, are they going to retain that when they go outside of the doors that you're giving it to them?
Well said. Well said. I love it. Okay, Pineapple, please tell me. Give me a few pros, a couple cons of homeschooling your children.
What else is there to say? He just covered all that shit. Like, he's absolutely correct. You don't have any diversity if you're at home. You need that. You need to be out. He's right. Kids that are homeschooled, most of them are weird like a motherfucker. Like, they become socially awkward, isolated. You know, they don't know how to take rejection. It has to be a balance. So he's absolutely correct. That's where your school shooters come from. How tell me no? You should come and bang that motherfucker up right quick. So yeah, I got a partner. I love him to death, but whole motherfucking family weird. Like, none of the kids even have a real name. Their name is like Rain, Wednesday, and fucking Twinkles or some shit like that. He's got them homeschooled.
I'm sorry. I try to put myself on mute.
He got these motherfuckers homeschooled because he doesn't want them influenced by the outside world. But I'm like, yo, dog, you and your wife are bad enough for fucking influence as it is. Like, because they're both transitioning from, she's going from girl to guy, he's going from guy to girl. I'm like, the only person in the house got a normal name is the fucking dog. A dog named Bruce or some shit like that.
He said dog named Bruce.
Yeah, so they got a lot going on over there. And I'm like, you don't want your kids to go to public school because you don't want them to find out the truth that this shit that you're pouring into them is not real.
Okay. Is there a pro? I don't think I heard you say
the only pro to learning at home is that you set the pace and the tone. You know, so if you want to learn 10 lessons a day or you only want to learn 2 lessons a day, you set the tone as far as how much or how little you learn. And you can teach some shit to your kids that is not part of the school curriculum.
Love it. All right, the Queen, please let us know your thoughts because I know you're going to come with it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to be biased because I actually homeschool my kids. But for the most part... I mean,
oh shit, we talk about you, Queen. We talk about your ass, Queen.
How big got a normal name though?
She does.
I want to hear from you now, Kyndra. Come on.
So I actually homeschool her. So we started off homeschooling. She did go to public school for a couple years. Now we're back to homeschooling. But I'll start with the pros. I would say this. Well, before I go into that. Homeschooling has a lot to do with the parents, right? There are some parents who are just unschooling, which is taking the, Wild Thornberry's approach of just let's go be out in nature and let's let our kids the trees teach them shit. That's teach its own. That ain't my style. That ain't how I roll. I'm an educator, by default, but I'm not teaching her. Like, I need to be her mother. I don't need to be her mom, her teacher, her therapist, her etc. I just need to be her mother. And so I hire. Like, what's the point of that? But I hire a certified teacher to work with her 4 days a week. Or typically I drop her off at her place and, just go on by my business. I go to work and do our thing. My kid is pretty intelligent. And of course, we all think our kids are intelligent, but she, leaving public school, she was in the gifted class and was already getting bored. And then boredom, bullying, and ADHD was just not a good combination. So I was like, let's go back to homeschool and just let you go at your pace. That's going to work for you, and you're not having to, be bothered with a lot of the distractions. I would say how you homeschool, or there's like, I think 8 or 9 different, like, what do you call it? Structured versions of homeschool. I'm definitely choosing the version that is making her a well-rounded individual. She's getting all her core subjects. I also put her in sports so she can get the socialization, right? Like, she plays soccer and she's in dance. She's also in Girl Scouts. I keep her a little bit busy and out of the house. And so to me, that helps because she gets a routine and gets a schedule going. And she's also mingling with peers. The teacher she goes to also has a handful of other students. So it's like a one-room schoolhouse model, if you will, right? Like the old back in the day. But she's getting what she needs and I'm happy. And I don't have to, break my neck to try to, teach her all these other things. What we do is field trip Fridays. I have a Friday off, I'll take her to the museum. We'll do X, Y, and Z. We'll make fun of the, the experience, but it's really going to be dependent on, how you do it and what your intentionality is. I think a con for homeschooling, honestly, it's expensive. It's expensive. It's public school takes care of pretty much 90% of everything you would need that you have to literally come out of pocket for homeschool. It comes to curriculum. Like, we have a scholarship. She's on a state scholarship. So that helps a lot as far as my finances go or my budget goes. But for a lot of homeschoolers, they don't meet those requirements. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to shell out to feed these kids all freaking day, every day. It's a lot of money to pay for curriculum. It's a lot of money to go on these field trips and do X, Y, and Z and get them involved in sports clubs and everything in between. So it's not cheap, but overall, whatever your intention is and whatever experience you want to get out of it, you do what you got to do. If you know damn well your kid's gonna sit at home and just eat Takis and play video games all day, that's not homeschooling, right? Like that's no, you know what I mean? So you got everybody can't do it, right? Everybody can't do it, and everyone shouldn't do it. And I don't recommend it to everyone because it's not a one size fit all. Every kid doesn't, like when we did public, like obviously when she was in public school, it worked for the season that she was there, right? It worked for us. Now it becomes kind of an issue, and I don't want to have to go to the schools and become the school shooter. So I am like, let me pull my kid out, okay, and to keep from cussing these teachers out or to keep from going off on these principals or these racist ass other, Anglo-Saxon children who are being raised by, Karen and Karen Jr. No, thank you. So, you do what you got to do. You make it work. But no, if you're going to be lazy and already lazy, you don't raise lazy ass kids. That's just that.
Clock it. Yeah. Before I go to Lance, did you just say Anglo-Saxon kids? Where do you get this stuff from, Queen Kyndra? Bro,
I caught that too, Queer. I caught that kid.
I think we all caught that.
She is. Let me say this real quick. I want to give you your flowers real quick. And I said this to you I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast, but I definitely say this to you on the phone. But you are hilarious. You need to get it up there on stage. Your comedy is unmatched. Like, y'all, she's been my ghostwriter with a couple different things, right? Like,
oh shit, for what? What?
No, listen, let me tell you what she said real quick. So, my biological father had passed away, right? But during his last times, my mother was in the hospital. Well, what is that, hospice? She was in hospice praying for him and everything else. And he kept yelling, "Get off me! Get off me!" and she was basically saying those were the demons trying to get him because he was just a horrible man. And I was like, bro, you they were pulling him to hell because he was
I don't mean
horrible.
to laugh. What the
He
fuck?
said, she's like, oh, those were just the demons telling him, trying to, like, they were coming to get him. That was funny. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go.
That shit was deep, bro. You can't just glaze over no shit like that, bro.
That shit went dark fast, yo.
I
God damn.
I was
bro.
cracking up. I said, did she really say that? Okay, so Mr. Lance, please let us know what your thoughts are. Do you need me to repeat the question, or you have the question?
I think I got the question. But before I begin, I kind of want to, you know how I am with geography, and I need to say this because I just like showing off. By the way, Anglo-Saxons actually come from the Latin word Angleterre, which just means England. Technically, the English people, technically. So yeah, that was just saying racist because of course that's the base of slavery right there. You know, I just feel like showing off and just, you know, talk about geography right
I
now.
appreciate that, but now I'm gonna say bitch, you an English Anglo-Saxon, bitch.
I know, right?
Y'all, Lance is he's like, he knows like 30 languages and he knows a lot of stuff. Like, you know, Lance is good, man. He's good.
I just, you know,
I can see.
I love showing off. That's just, you know. But in other words, to get to the actual point, the actual question. Okay, so the crazy thing is with this particular question, all of the pros that we talk about can be cons, and all of the cons can be pros. Just for instance, like you know, if we homeschool our kids, you know, of course we're cutting them off from getting acclimated to society. But the crazy thing is, surprisingly, I don't have kids yet, but that's what I'm scared of if I send my kids to public school. Because a lot of people at my job, because we just be talking shit, we just be saying all kind of stuff. And then I'll talk about the things I'm not going to let my child learn when he gets older or she gets older. Some things I do not want my kids picking up. You know what I'm saying? Because me on a personal level, y'all can disagree with me if y'all want. If anybody in the comments can. It's just my opinion. You know, that's why I'm on Kyndra's podcast, because she said I could be myself. But me on a personal level, I believe that there's only two sexes. So that's just something that I'm going to teach my kids. That's just something I believe. And then a lot of people at work was like, you don't know. A lot of these kids, they learn more from school than from you anyway. So you can teach your kid whatever. But these kids still pick up things from school. And that's exactly one of the pros of homeschooling in my eyes, is that they are disconnected from this society. And I honestly do not want my kid to grow up like the average person in my area that I live in Atlanta. I do not. That is a nightmare for me. That's the main thing that's keeping me from having kids, is that they will go out there and experience more of the world more than me. So that's my pro of homeschooling. But my con of homeschooling is that in the house, it feels like, especially if they're young, and I think this is something related to what Queen Kyndra said, is that these kids is going to get too comfortable at home to the point where they wouldn't have any motivation to really want to do their work, because there's so many distractions. The TV is right next to them. They're next to their room. They get tired too easily because they're in their own house. They get too comfortable in their pajamas, and there's no motivation. There's no fire to wake them up to actually focus on their work. So that's just my answers to this question.
I love it. Good.
I like it.
Well, let me go ahead and answer this, and then we can go to question 2. So when I sent this question out to the group chat that myself and Queen Kyndra are in, I really had I was thinking kind of like this. I didn't say like more so school shooters or so, because I didn't think about that with Wings on the Plane, Pineapple, how you guys felt. I was like, but I was basically thinking like, you know, homeschooling, the social awkwardness, you know, because when I think about homeschooling, I think about, okay, it's really just that child. They don't have no siblings, so they're by themselves. They have nobody to interact with. Like, I think about, like, for example, I have a sister of mine where her oldest child, the first few years of her life, you know, they didn't have place her in daycare, right? So she's by herself, only child, and she is it's like socially awkward. She doesn't really know how to play well or anything else. I'm like, bro, put that kid in school, right? We're you know, and as a and this is something I had to learn the hard way. You can't tell people what to do with their kids, right? Like even if they know that the child looks crazy, whatever, you got to mind your own business. But me coming, you know, from the education system, seeing how a lot of bullying goes on all day long, I'm getting, Miss K, this person won't stop saying this about me. Miss K, da 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 da. It's consistent type of thing. And then some of these children that I've come across, they don't have that opportunity of really trying to advance because unfortunately, I can't teach what I want to teach. I can't tell a child that the first president was not George Washington. What's his name? John Hanson. Yeah, one of y'all correct me. It's John Hanson or what's his name?
I don't know. They say the first president was black though. They didn't count that nigga though, but he was.
Yeah,
black.
he was black.
They didn't count him. 1775 or some shit like that.
What was his name?
Count him?
Yeah, some shit like that.
He was only 3/5 a man.
Yeah, it was. Y'all know what I'm basically trying to say. John,
you want me to repeat it for you?
I got you, scheduled. Like
I just missed the joke. What'd you just say? I missed it.
he had actually did you wanted a researcher for you. What his name was.
Yeah, you can. That's fine. But but no, like I said, the first president was not George Washington. It was a black man. I can't, or it can be a touchy subject as far as we're talking about, like, with kids, a lot of them, I don't want to say a lot, but there are children who get touched inappropriately. So I wanted to, and I've had the times where I have actually pulled kids to the side, start them off in 5 years old. Do you know where your private parts are? Don't let no one touch this. But some parents may have an issue about that, right? Because they're like, oh, what are you saying trying to teach my child about that? Why aren't you teaching your child about that? And there were some kids, even in, 3rd, 4th grade, who's like, yeah, my parents never talked to me about this. You mean telling me your parents are not talking to you about stranger danger, about my privates, don't let me touch, whatever it might be. So, and then on top of that, having to deal with so many fights, having to deal with go ahead, Lance, you have an answer?
But some parents don't want their little kids to know about any of that until a certain age. So that different parents got different views for their child to want to know a certain thing. Like every child is not supposed to know what private parts are, especially coming from somebody that's not their parents. I mean, I'm just saying some parents don't want to have that conversation until a certain age anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. But, however, that's one of the things, in my opinion, it's kind of like, I would say, I feel like it's poor parenting because they need to be able to say something. Like, we have 2 parents on this podcast. You all would want to know what's going on if something's happening with your child. And they're saying stuff like, I remember, I didn't even say the word vagina or know what like the word penis was really until I was like late elementary, right? And it's like, what do we say? Wee or
peckerwood,
yeah,
peckerwood,
we need to be able
woodpecker. I call that bitch a woodpecker. I call that bitch a soul pole. I'm grown now. I call that bitch a soul pole. Nah, it's a soul pole.
Soul pole. You are hilarious. But just kind of, like I say, just kind of wrapping this up. I don't know if I listed some of the. If I was listening to pros or the cons, or if you guys were catching on to what I was saying, but honestly, after listening to what Queen Kyndra told me earlier in the week, again, I didn't know really what homeschool was, right? I thought it was just the basic what a lot of people think, a child by themselves, social awkwardness. I was thinking that,
Hey,
they're
by
not
the way,
fun. You sound
by the way, it's John Hanson, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said. John Hanson. That's what I said. Okay. John Hanson. So whatever. Like I want to be able to really educate the kids the right way, or if I or tell them like, listen, man, Michael Luther King I'm sorry, Martin Luther King, whose real name is actually Michael Luther King. If I was to say he was the worst thing that ever happened to black folks, oh, I can't
Wait,
say
you
that.
said Michael Luther King?
Go
Who the
look it
fuck
up.
I'm
is
stuck.
Michael Luther King?
His
I'm
real
stuck
name
like a
is
motherfucker.
Michael Luther King. You can go look this up. His real name
No,
is
no, no,
Michael.
Kyndra, no. Let's just keep it Martin. Let's not
Okay,
even
that's fine.
open
But
up
I'm
that
letting
can
you
of worms.
know his real name. Like Jamie
Michael.
Foxx's real name is not Jamie Foxx. Okay, so I say all that.
We know that though.
Some people don't. Well, I
His
say
mama
all
name is
that.
Martin. I'm gonna call him Martin.
So I say, I say
Don't
all
be fucking this up like, hey, it's Martin. It's been Martin long before any of us was alive. It's gonna stay Martin.
hey, listen, that's listening. But what I
We
say
already
all
got
that,
a famous Michael. We got two of them. We don't need no more Michaels. We good with Martin.
but kind of just like I said, I'm just wrapping all this up. But again, I definitely agree with what Queen Kyndra is saying. I'm gonna take her standpoint. You know, again, I didn't know that. You know, they, like I said, she drops her, child off. I didn't know the depths of it. I thought she was just literally at home with her daughter.
Absolutely not. I don't have the patience. No, absolutely not. Listen, I teach at college, and I also hilariously I work with homeschool families who have kids with special needs, right? Like conveniently, but because I'm doing this all day long, I don't have a bandwidth to give my child all this extra, Mr. Rogers neighborhood and lamb chop education. I just don't. I don't.
So I guess this is. I don't want to interrupt. I guess this would be a question for you, Queen Kyndra. So how do we expect homeschooling to work if the parents that's schooling the children at home ain't even qualified to be teachers? What the children benefit?
Well, yes, learning. So homeschool laws. Let's just break it down. Homeschool laws vary by the state, right? Most states have a pretty lenient rule, like your kid has to have 180 days of instructional time. That instructional time is kind of predicated on what you want to, however you want to do it. There are some states that bleed, that bleed other colors. Anglo-Saxon predominant. They have strict rules, laws, regulations, right? So you have to be a certified teacher or at least have a bachelor's degree as a parent. You have to name your school or create a school name on LLC, nonprofit, however, like have it as a business entity. You have to report attendance to the Department of Education. You have to submit actual work to the Department of Education, keep a portfolio primarily, right? And you have to track all of that. Now, there's a handful of states that require that, majority don't. And so depending on what state you live in, you could kind of, for a lot of the states that have a lot of leniency, get by with just doing whatever. Before public schools ever existed, majority of kids were homeschooled, or at least going to like a one-room schoolhouse, or it was more of like a village style where, hey, Big Mama over here was having all the neighborhood kids anyway. They were learning something, right? So it kind of just depends on the parents and why they're doing it. There are some parents who literally are like, I just don't want my kid in public, like, at all, and they're just doing nothing, or let alone they don't have the intelligence.
Exactly.
Or whatever the case may be.
Damn third grade dropouts and shit talking about I'm a homeschool my child.
Exactly.
I want to homeschool my child. So
your motherfucking ass need homeschool.
So they have to have enough, sense and intelligence to be able to make that decision confidently. But then on the flip side, yeah, you're gonna run into that. You're gonna run into those. I see it. I see it all the time. And I just kind of bite my lip and just keep going about my business.
I think you got to take the good with the bad, especially if you're sending your kid to school, because a kid that's educated at school only is a child that's uneducated. You still got to be able to educate your kid at home, because they come home with some shit that they learned at school, and you be like, whoa, wait a minute, time to fuck out.
Yes.
That don't even sound kosher. Like I had an issue last school year with my daughter. There was a little boy in her class. Now, mind you, she was like 10 years old. And this little boy wanted to be referred to by girl pronouns and came up with his own little name. And they tried to make the class do that shit. And I was like, Janai, you're not doing that. He's a boy. You're going to call him a boy. You're going to call that little motherfucker Tyrone, whatever his name is. I said, if your teacher got an issue with it, tell her she can call me. And, of course, the lady called me and was like, we're trying to be all inclusive. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do. My daughter knows that as a boy, she sees it as a boy, she gonna call it a boy. I said, and you and nobody else in that school is going to force her to call that kid something he is not. We would not have this conversation again, now will we?
Y'all never
I
had that
And
stand
of,
on
conversation
that.
again,
I
did
stand
and
on
y'all?
of course, my daughter, being the asshole that she is, she emphasized boy every time she talked to the little kid. Like, ah, damn, that girl gonna make me start drinking. But you gotta nip that kind of shit in the bud because they
Yeah.
coming out with all kind of nonsense in schools, like 75 different genders and pronouns. We ain't doing that goofy shit.
Well, let me say this last thing, then we're gonna move quickly to question two, and I'm gonna bring it on to Lance. But the last thing I want to say is, we're moving in a day and age now, as well. I've seen reports in my city, well, not my city, in the surrounding areas, where it's even like it's where it was second going on third week of school, and the lunch cafeteria has run out of food, and I'm like, you guys are running out of food.
what the fuck? What school
Not
that was?
this was in
That's a first. To be honest with you, I ain't never heard no shit
Really?
like that before.
they ran out of food.
Yeah, me neither.
They ran out of food. It's and then on top of that, we're moving, and then Queen Kira had given me a let me know about what Trump was doing, like where he's like, we're moving the reduced lunch, and we're moving all that type of stuff, and the free lunch,
Yeah.
and
So free and reduced lunch are going to be no more.
and then on top of that, y'all know AI is taking over. So at some point, a lot of teachers are going to be out the class. They're going to be leaving the school buildings anyway, and the robots are going to be teaching y'all's kids. Like,
Children
so
gonna be
just
hungry at school. They're not gonna have food at school for children.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
they
that's
are.
what's happening. I
It
think he's
falls
taking away a
under.
lot of the unhealthy shit that these kids is nibbling on.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, a lot of this shit that because our kids today are more obese than anything in the world right now. Like the obesity rate amongst children has skyrocketed. That's why he wants to bring back like the actual fitness shit. Like you want to be fat and lazy, you can't just go hide in the band room anymore. You're gonna have to get out there and get it in. So a lot of the stuff that they're eating that's causing them to blow up like whales, a lot of that shit is getting pulled.
It should be. You know, concern be big. I work with children, bro. They be fucking 7 years old. They 180 pounds. Like
Damn
But
near
that's
I
a
only
that's a
100.
weigh
goddamn
140.
shame.
Shit, I'm 38. I weigh 140. Like what the fuck? How your 5-year-old weigh more than me? You this baby.
Professor Clumps walked in. Let me quickly go. Let's go to question two. Lance, let me bring it to you. So, sex is very healing. At what point were you able to heal yourself through the exchange with your partner? That's one. That's the first one. And the second one is, what did you learn prior to the energy exchange that you didn't know before?
Okay. This is okay. First of all, can you repeat the first question, the first half of that question?
Oh,
Again?
shit, get ready for Lance. This nigga about to go. He about to go ham on this one. Let me get ready.
I know, right?
So,
I know, right?
how were you able to heal yourself through the exchange with your partner?
First of all, who said I healed myself?
Boom. Boom.
Who said sex is healing? Because the thing is, if I answer this question, that means I'm agreeing, okay, sex is healing. And I have proof that I was kind of forced to kind of say, okay, I'm not saying there's nothing bad about sex, okay? I've had some good sexual experiences in my life. Sex is not bad, okay?
You came from sex, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not demonizing sex. I'm not saying that sex is a bad thing. But out of all the podcasts we had, out of all of the conversations we had, Kyndra, we've never talked about sex healing. So now I have to like reword the way I usually talk and kind of abide by your question. So, okay.
You can
My
pass.
question,
Just say omit.
the only way I can answer my question is, let me ask you, Kyndra, since you're the one who created this question. Okay, what do you mean by healing? What do you mean? So I won't give you the wrong interpretation.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My answer was gonna be omit because I'm gonna tell y'all where I got this question from. Y'all, since y'all are from Louisiana, y'all know Kevin Gates, okay? His now
That nigga
ex-wife.
freaky.
she was talking about it on a podcast, and she just was talking about how sex is very healing. I'm like, I didn't know it was. I know it's powerful, but I didn't know it was healing. So I said, well, this could be a great episode conversation for my podcast. So I don't know. I'm
Okay. So
that's my
I'll just give you my version of it. Okay. I know my answer may be different than everybody on this podcast, but I've studied some things in my life that people don't know about. So let me hurry up and get this over with because I don't want to make this too long. So at the beginning of this podcast, I was talking about sexual transmutation or no fat. Let me give an example. George Washington Carver, Benjamin Franklin, Nikola Tesla. These three men, they all done something amazing. They invented impossible shit. Like, that's where Tesla come from. Nikola Tesla, the Serbian mathematician that discovered what radio waves was, even if we can't see radio waves. How the fuck does he know they was there? But in other words, out of all of these amazing inventors, they've all had one thing in common, and that was they never had sex. And what happened was, see, all of us men, you know, our drive is to sex. That's the most, that we go so hard for sex. We want to reproduce. That's what our nature is designed to do. So when we hold that, when we stop it and tell our sperm to go into our body instead of out of our body, we create some amazing shit. One more thing I want to say. I try to hurry up and get this over with. When I was a virgin, I stayed a virgin for a long time. I broke my virginity at like 22, I think. It was a long time compared to the average man. I know. It's weird. But I discovered something
going to
weird.
my second retirement by that time.
I know, right? I discovered something weird around that time. I had so much energy built up in me. I've had the energy to ride my bicycle, no electricity, my bicycle, my pedal bike, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way and I touched the Alabama state line and came back for no apparent reason. And I barely had any food. I had so much energy, I just was like trying to waste it. So I can see where the positive thing by using your sexual energy come from. But this is not taught anywhere in society because, of course, society does not want, especially us men, black men, to save our seed and become powerful. Because if everybody can control their urges, this world will literally get blacked out by us. We will be so powerful. But that's for a whole nother topic. I'm getting beside myself. By the way, I didn't answer the second half of that question. What's the second half of that question?
So the second half of the question is, what did you learn prior to the energy exchange that you didn't know before?
Okay. I'm gonna try my hardest to make this fast. I promise. I know I'm talking a lot. But so when I noticed that, okay, well, first of all, I did tell you, I'm not sure if I told everybody, but I can tell everybody anyway. I purposely went 3 years without sex, like literally I never had sex since 2022. I purposely am trying to go on a dopamine detox. And during this dopamine detox, by cutting out sex, cutting out PRN, cutting out anything that stimulated my brain reset, and now I can see everything clearly now. And just the fact that I kind of realized, now everybody can disagree with me. I know this is a controversial topic I'm going to say, but when you have sex with somebody, you become them a little bit, you know, because it's like when like, I don't care what Bible you read, what religion you are, but in many of religions, the Quran, the Bible, they say when you have sex with somebody, you become one. So if the woman is a blob of yellow paint, the man is a blob of green paint. Blue paint. If you mix them together, that's when you have sex. They both become green. So that's kind of the thing that kind of opened my eyes that I shouldn't really be having sex with anybody because there's just too many things. I don't want to get myself into a hole that I can't come out of. You know what I'm saying? But I'm done talking.
I love it. Queen Kyndra.
That is.
Then I'm going to go to Pineapple.
Yeah, I talk a lot. So.
Would you like for me to repeat the question or do you have it?
You can repeat it.
Okay, so basically, you know, sex is very healing. How were you able to heal yourself through the exchange with your partner? And the part B of that is, what did you learn prior to the energy exchange that you didn't know before?
Okay, when you asked the question earlier in the week in the group chat, I answered it under the impression of not necessarily it being like, this experience healed me and made me whole more than, okay, it was a difference between just fucking and actually having a intimacy with somebody, right? Like, and that was the kind of the experience I was describing. So long story short, I think the first time I ever had that experience or knew that experience was a thing, right? Like, oh my God, like orgasms, but being able to release that energy, right? Like being able to have a release, and it's not like just a guy and I just lay there like, damn, all right, well, let me go, let me head out. You know, it wasn't like that. It was very much like a I don't know, like a communal type of experience. Both of us was able to really lock in, and dun, 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 dun. So, you know, it's one of those things where if I'm having if you're having sex with somebody, just say in general, right? Like if you just need a quick fuck or a quick nut, like, okay, great. Like, going about your business. Men have the ability to just do that. They can just release and keep moving.
That's true. Yeah.
We fuck it because today Friday. We don't need no other reason.
That's true.
Right. You know, whereas women, as we're receivers, so we take that any orifice of that experience as like the golden ticket, and it becomes something way more to us as women than it is to the guys. For guys, right? Like I met a guy recently who we were having a conversation about it was something along the lines about this. Long story short, and I said, well, I had made a comment about how he gonna be out in the streets. He was like, no, I don't have sex with anybody. Like, sex is a communication portal. And I was like, oh, look at you, philosopher, right? Like, it's a way to communicate something to somebody, whether it's like, oh, I just, I see you as important versus not. I have this energy I need to release versus not. I'm stressed out versus not. Like, it's a nonverbal style of communication and the intimacy, and you got to be careful. Like Lance was saying, like, there's so many soul ties that you easily get attached. I mean, some people can just, again, move on and not, quote unquote, feel that or understand that they got into a relationship, but you find a crazy bitch, it's over. Like, I think, Lance, I sent you the video about this girl literally burned down her house, her part of her apartment, just so she could see her side dude.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
Like,
that was stupid.
What?
That's some weird ass shit.
Yeah, it was so good. And the point was his girlfriend was a firefighter, and his girlfriend was a firefighter, and she really wanted him to come over, and he was like, no, I can't really do that, etc., etc. So she purposely calls a fire so the girlfriend can get out the house and she can get some feet. So
was they black or white?
Black.
It was black.
Good question.
God damn, boy.
Black girl, yeah.
He must have licked that butt. The only thing that drive a bitch crazy like that, bro. God damn. Bro, this is set our house. Yo, it'd have been funny as fuck if he was off that night. Boy, she'd have been drove.
Hey, Kyndra. Hey, Hey, I was asking you. Remember when I asked you when you sent me that video? I asked you, what can I do to get a woman to get obsessed over me like that? Like, even though I don't want it.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
That's crazy.
No.
I want to answer that shit. Let her answer Lance's question. Answer Lance's question. You right, Lance. I want to know the answer.
Yeah, even though I'm not trying to expect a woman to burn down the whole house for me. I'm just be like, is there a way, like, what? Yeah, I don't want to be like the simp. I don't want to be like the man that I have to work to make her love me. I want a woman to just naturally do it without me even having to lift a finger. Like, how would that feel like?
What the answer is, Kyndra? He asked you the question.
Y'all are women. Y'all can answer that question.
Hey, we listening to y'all. We quiet. We listening for y'all.
Well, let me say, because I have been told I'm crazy. I think it was just I don't know. Just you got to come across somebody who just has some type of obsessive,
Yeah, they gotta fuck with your aura, dog. They gotta
Yeah,
fuck with your aura like that, bro. Like it's something internal. They gotta something about you that draws them to it, and logical thinking just go out the goddamn window.
shit. This is type of men, and I'm teaching you this, Kyndra, and possibly Queen Kira. These are the type of men that us men go to learn how to talk to women and learn how to make women like us. That's where we get our toxic activity from. Not me. I don't represent these type of men, but I'm just saying this is how we see life. If we want women to like us, we're gonna get advice from the men that women are obsessed over. That's what I've been trying to tell you for so long.
All right. Well, I think Queen Kira, you answered both. 2A and 2B. Pineapple, said I was going to go to you next. So go ahead. What is your answer for? Do you want me to repeat it or you got it?
No, I think I got this. I don't think I've ever looked at sex as something I healed from. Like I got to a point in my life. There was a point in my life where chasing skirts was the thing to do. Shit. I'm an '80s baby, so we did that shit in the late '90s, 2000s, or whatnot. Especially being from New Orleans. But there came a time when I started that inner search for more peaceful shit. Like, and sex became a distant second to me. I'm like, yeah, sex is great, fucking love it by the pound. But at the end of the day, come peace, bring peace, because pussy is everywhere and peace is not.
That's
So
true. I
if
like that.
you
That's
ain't
true.
trying to be peaceful, then I don't want nothing to do with you. And I'm at
Yep.
that point in life where now sex just complicates shit, bro. Like I be vibing with my homegirls and shit like that. Me and my girl, we be vibing and whatnot. Like, I'm more in tune with her without having sex because I told her, I'm like, I think that's just gonna ruin the friendship completely. Cause you might turn into one of these crazy stalk ass motherfuckers running around in the daytime with a flashlight looking for me and shit. Like, I don't need that in my life, bro. Like, so if that what keeps us nice and tight as friends, then we don't need to go there. Now when pineapple feel like pineappling, shit, they got people for that. But at the end of the day, I'm good off that shit. Shit, I'm 40, I'm 42 years old. I'm a goddamn granddad. Like that shit ain't important to me no
Hey, you
more.
make it look good, babe. I
That shit
put you
ain't
for it,
important to
nigga.
me
You
no
make it
more.
look good, nigga. Hey,
You
yeah,
goddamn right. Hey, boy, that black don't crack, but it's stretched like a motherfucker. But it
Oh,
still
shoot,
look
he showing the
good,
muscles
boy.
off. He showed. Go ahead, flex him one time. Go ahead, pineapple, flex the muscles
Boy,
off.
I still
Ow,
got it.
shoot.
I
hey,
still
we
Yes.
got
white
it.
tees up. We white tees. I'm a skinny
I
nigga with
still
no
got it,
beard.
baby.
I'm a
18
little
years of
skinny nigga.
military
I ain't got
service.
no
I still got it.
I'm the chicken bone. I'm the bone. I'm the bone on the chicken, nigga. I'm the skinny nigga with little muscle, nigga. I'm little. I'm the little nigga. They hold on to me when they get goddamn warm and just want to play with something. Shit, I'm
I
right
know.
on. That's me. I accept my role. I'm the boy toy. Fuck it. I'll be there.
Oh,
Well, let me. Wings. Pineapple. Did you have anything else you want to say before I pass the wings on the plane?
nah, I just that's just my take on it. Like, I'm good. I'm good off that shit because it just complicates things in this day and age.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Well, wings on the plane. Go ahead. We'll end it out with you because my answer is
My,
omit because I don't have an answer. I just want to hear y'all's opinion.
my brother really hit it on the head, man. Like, fucking and having sex and all that. The feeling you get from having sex is the human body's release from that reaction. Now, I work in medicine.
Release.
I'm a healthcare professional. I'm breaking this shit down scientifically. Your body got a reaction to everything that happened. Somebody hits you in the spot they hit you, you're gonna get a bruise. If you don't bleed or get something gonna happen. If somebody stick a penis in your vagina, if it's good, you're gonna motherfucking have an orgasm. If you stick your penis in some vagina and it's good, nigga, you gonna bust. Now, when we talking
Yep.
about sex, the physical act of the feeling we get is from the body doing it. But we do we attach how we feel about that person to the physical act of the body. So just because I like you a lot, my body will do the same thing. Whether I take my 5 fingers and wrap them in the thing and jack off my own self and do it to you, it'll give me that same feeling. I don't look at myself like I would look at you. So I get the same feeling. When you talk about fucking, the reason that niggas got bad bitches who ain't shit niggas, they slinging good dick. The reason bitches fucking with ain't shit niggas, cause that nigga piping her down good. And it's because of the feeling the body get. It ain't about why this person should be with this person, or a reporter should be with another reporter. A librarian should be with a doctor or some shit like that. No. It just, you might have a nigga that's from the street and he ain't got no money and bad credit, but his bitch is a doctor because he's slinging good pipe and fucking her really good. And she likes that feeling that her body gets. Now, we can say they're not good for each other, but, you know, they like the feeling the body. So, long story short, sex is good. I condone fucking, whether you're married or not, have sex. If you ain't fucking somebody else, fuck yourself. Masturbation is good.
Fuck yourself.
I am for masturbation. So, with that being said, it's just the feeling. The sex is made to procreate. It's in the book of the basic instructions before leaving Earth. I ain't a good reader of that shit, but you supposed to fuck to make more people.
Yep.
But if you can't make more people, you can still get the feeling of fucking with yourself. That's all I'm saying. So I am pro masturbation, yes. And if I can't find anybody to do it with, I just do it with myself.
I want to ask this question before we end out. Have you ever been able to heal yourself through not masturbation, but through the energy exchange?
I have, yes. Because I'll be mad about some shit. I'll be mad at that motherfucker. And then when I bust that nut, I'll be like, man, I don't know why the fuck I was tripping, bro.
You know what? On that note, man, this is
that's healing.
Ready to go to bed like a motherfucker.
Ready, I'm sorry. It's all my fault, baby. Blame it all on me. I don't even care. It's my fault. So
y'all have been funny. Y'all have been funny. Well, listen, man. Thank you all so much, Queen Kyndra, Wings on a Plane, Lance, Pineapple. I appreciate all y'all. So Louisiana was in the house and Indiana showed up. So
Les bon temps brûlés.
What's down, baby? 20 years later, nigga. 20 years later, nigga, we still here.
Y'all be blessed. We're out.